It is August 10th, and we have to get into this next Paramount update. And let me just say this first. I can't really predict how this merger is going to end. I definitely think that Paramount will be able to fully acquire Warner Bros. I do think Warner Bros will be in Paramount's possession. But looking into this next update, I don't think they're going to let Paramount win this without a fight. Let's get into this week in film. So the judge overseeing the antitrust case that's looking to block the merger has just issued a preliminary scheduling order. She has officiated a date for its trial for March 2027. In my last video, we were waiting on the outcome of the case, and now we have it. This March trial is considerably later than what Paramount was hoping for, as Paramount originally asked for the trial to be set in November. While the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, and the 12 state attorneys generals who are suing against the merger asked for this trial to be in April 2027. During this waiting period, Paramount will now be accruing a ticking fee payable to Warner Bros. Shareholders of $7 million per day, starting on October 1st until the deal is complete. Since the trial is scheduled to start roughly 5 months after that, Paramount are on the hook to pay $1.2 billion to Warner Bros. Shareholders by the time the trial is scheduled to conclude. A Paramount spokesperson says, "The court has set a trial date for early March. We respect the court's decision and continue to believe a trial on the merits is the best and most direct way for us to prove what we've said from the start. This transaction is lawful, pro-competitive, and raises no antitrust concerns." The judge said the parties must submit a joint case management statement no later than August 13th for an initial case management conference on August 19th. To be honest, I'm a little surprised that the trial date is that far out. Due to the timelines of things, I did think that they would try and set a date for some time in the last quarter of this year, as Paramount hoped. But David Ellison feels that the accusations and complaints and lawsuits have less to do with market power and more to do with the ownership of CNN. He says, "I believe this fight is not really about market share. I believe a plainer worry sits beneath the briefs and the news releases. The news. The issue is whether I can be trusted as a steward of Warner CNN." Ellison reiterated his pledge to keep CNN independent upon the merger, writing that when it comes to our news operations, I do not aspire to lead these companies to bend their newsrooms to my views. I believe that news should be based on facts and truth. The trial will run a total of 12 court days beginning March 2nd. And see, this is why you need to subscribe to my channel, because we are going to be intently tracking and discussing this trial, this whole merger, until the very end. Comment below how you think this trial will turn out. And on the ever-evolving subject of Paramount, we have 2 new updates on an existing investigation and an existing lawsuit. You might remember me reporting on a group of Paramount subscribers suing Paramount over the merger, claiming that there will be rising subscription costs, reduced quality, and less market competition. Well, the judge Araceli has actually dismissed this lawsuit, claiming that the plaintiffs presented a lack of standing in their suit. She also ruled that the plaintiffs failed to establish cognizable economic fallout that would invoke antitrust regulation. She wrote, "The complaint contains a boilerplate assertion of competitive harms, such as lower quality and variety and decreased consumer choice, but it fails to allege any facts to plausibly show how those claimed harms have materialized or would materialize. The plaintiff's standing theory amounts to little more than the assertion that they are consumers who watch television and go to the movies, and therefore a merger between entertainment companies would injure them." Well, that's fair enough. I can't blame the subscribers for trying. Everybody else is throwing their lawsuits at Paramount, so they clearly thought they had a shot. I do think that if they waited till the merger was complete and was able to gather concrete evidence of these changes and of their claims, then they would have more legs to their argument. Inversely, the second update to share with you is something that Paramount would be very happy to hear about. The Competition and Markets Authority, CMA for short, have approved of the Paramount-Warner Bros. Merger. If you have been following my TWIF series, you may remember me reporting on the CMA and them investigating into this merger. You can catch up on me introducing them into this chaos in a previous video with the title shown on screen. In a statement, the UK's Department of Media, Culture and Sport said, Today, the Competition and Markets Authority have announced their decision that there are no competition aspects of this proposed merger in the UK, which necessitate their further intervention. Among the areas that the CMA looked at were theatrical film distribution, linear children's TV channels, and the supply of subscription VOD services. The UK government have received a number of assurances around media and streaming services, children's programming, news plurality and editorial independence, Channel 5 and UK investment. In summary, all those assurances centre around keeping each channels and programming independent with distinct editorial identities, as well as increasing investment in UK news, children's programming and drama. Paramount have responded to this approval in the context of the upcoming antitrust trial in March, saying, "These conclusions further demonstrate this misguided and gerrymandered market definitions relied upon by the US state attorney generals in their antitrust complaint in California." Well, that's good news for Paramount, and I'm sure this approval and the other approval they received from the European Commission, which I also believe cleared the 24 billion investigation into the foreign Middle Eastern backing, will help their case in the trial in March. Interesting times ahead. On another note, Spider-Man Brand New Day was released over a week ago and has already amassed $1.2 billion globally at the box office, as well as $500 million domestically in North America. Those numbers officially make this film the highest grossing film of 2026 so far, the highest grossing first week in domestic box office history, and the fastest film to reach that $500 million milestone, overtaking Avengers Endgame. This is an amazing result of the film. I was actually able to watch this film when it came out over a week ago, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the new characters were picked well. I thought the plot was great. I really liked John Bernthal's character in his relation to Peter Parker and their kind of love-hate friendship that they have going on. I really like seeing Mark Ruffalo's character Bruce Banner feature in the film as well. I really thought it was a very necessary but unexpected addition to the film, and I think his character and what happened to him fit into the overall plot very smoothly. Tom Holland, Destin Daniel Cretton, the director, and Zendaya and the whole cast should be exceptionally proud of their contributions to this film. I thought Sadie as well was a brilliant Jean Grey. I think she was a really fantastic standout in this film, and they should all be proud of themselves. That's all I have for TWIF This Week in Film. If you enjoy hearing about film industry and business news and are somewhat following this Paramount-Warner Bros merger fiasco, please subscribe to my channel to follow this journey with me. I would love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below.